This is Tuesday afternoon, about 1:30, Wayside Chapel, and we're looking at the tribute to Brett Wallis. The parking lot's full and even overflowing. But here is a tremendous tribute made up of all his pictures, all of his sports accomplishment at Rosamond High, family pictures, and his jackets with his letters, his equipment that he used playing baseball, and on this table, plaques and awards that he received.
I've always done it in my life the way that would be the first example of me and how he did. He was a great friend as well as a great Christian, and he will forever be in my heart.
A vision plan really shows us all as a community on a poster and in a plan format where we want to go in the future. And in this vision plan, we are focusing on the business district.
You'll remember that we asked you to create two vision plans. One was, I'll call it the go for it vision plan, and one was the let's just modify ourselves because you only get 15 points to do the plan. And almost everybody unanimously just said, we're going to throw caution to the wind. We're going to put down what we really want our long-term vision to be. We're not going to be constrained by a number of points. So everybody, I think, put more energy into the plan that was the one that we all really wanted to see. First of all, one of the things that were identified in a number of the vision plans that you created were what I would call these enhanced pedestrian links, being able to get around the area. Next, you identified on your vision plan a desire to see professional offices such as medical or financial services. There's some good formulas that make good town council. One of them is that the stores are open in the morning from about 8 or 9, and the liveliness of the downtown goes to about 8 or 9 at night. Get somebody out here who knows how to put striping in and put diagonal spaces in, so you can double the amount of on-street parking literally overnight by putting in diagonal parking spaces. Street trees. One of the things that I believe you want here is shade. One of the things that came out on almost everybody's plan, and it was placed in a little bit different place on everybody's plan, was a restaurant row. Another thing is enhancing the residential nature of the streets beside Diamond. One of the things that we were struck by when we were walking around on our walking tour is that while Diamond is blessed with these wide sidewalks, the streets that people live on don't have that. In fact, many of them don't even have 5-foot sidewalks. Some do, some don't. One of the things that we had an idea about was to remove some of the businesses that are currently located adjacent to Diamond and actually move those businesses out a little bit to another side, to just moving those out. So that when somebody drives in off of Rosamond, the first thing you're going to see is some kind of really cool plaza, park, architectural feature that's going to draw them down the street.
On Thursday at noon, June 23rd, 140th Street and B8, AVEK's new manifold. This is a 36-inch stub, the green, underneath the manifold, which is tied into the 48-inch west feeder that brings water from the aqueduct. And in this wet year, AVEK directors are anxious to store as much water in the ground as they can for dry year. This AVEK Water Bank out here on 140th and Avenue B in some areas seems to be percolating the water at a rapid rate. This is the AVEK underground manifold, and you can hear the water rushing through these pipes. This water recharge effort hasn't gotten very much publicity at all, but seems to make sense. The overlay of barley stubble actually helps prevent some of the evaporation connected with putting water out on idle farmland. One problem AVEK operations was having, water banking, is spreading the water evenly over the property. That was the purpose for the manifold, to be able to run lines out from the manifold to different parts of the property so that the water could be evenly distributed across the whole expanse of the acreage. Earlier in 2011, we saw activity taking rocks out of this field of carrots. Well, the carrots have sprouted up. This is a Semitropic Rosamond Water Bank, second phase. And what I'm looking at is a berm here that shows some erosion because of the wave action of the wind blowing the water up against the berm. Weirs like the ones you see in center frame are supposed to prevent water from eroding the berms, giving it some place to flow out over the top once the basin fills up. Kern County Road Department is really serious about fixing up this stretch of the boulevard that trucks driving to the new clean energy sites on the west of town have used so extensively. This was an older road and not really built for the kind of weight that these new trucks have brought to the road. Well, hi Mr. Taylor. What a great party last night.
It was a wonderful party. Standing
room only, and you were considerate enough to bring your better half and your children, which are delightful. And what I would like to know, and I think my viewers would like to know, is a little bit about your history, where you came from. And
well, I started my educational career as an instructional aide at an elementary school, and was a special ed teacher, a English teacher, a middle school administrator, middle school assistant principal, a high school assistant principal, a high school principal, director of curriculum instruction, and an area director for Rialto Unified, which is equivalent to an area superintendent.
Well, here in Rosamond, as in the state and in the country and probably the world, it's educating children today to be able to use and appreciate the technology, but hang on to the things that we've, as a race, have learned in the past, the valuable things we don't want to lose. Now, you're professional, and I'd be very interested to hear your opinions on that.
Well, part of that too is that when it's about increasing student achievement. So we're talking about all students, from the gifted student, who's advanced, for the student who is the basic student, all the way to students that need support and achieving together. So there has to be a balance with all of those and making sure that we educate all of the students. It's important today to utilize technology to help us to move further. Some of our learners are very visual aids and very visual, and that helps in supporting students to understand concepts, and especially difficult concepts.
The skateboard park at the corner of Eagle and Rosamond Boulevard always has people in it when it's open. But right now, it's closed. And the fence is broken. One of the ramps doesn't have a lip on it. RCSD Operations maintains that the skateboarders, some of them, tore this lip up, so they have put a caution ribbon on it and closed the whole park for everyone. But just because the park is closed doesn't mean that it can't be maintained.